We're going to take a real quick look at URL shorteners. Sometimes there's a need for students to actually type in a URL or web address, but a lot of times those URLs are very, very long. Like this Google Docs form URL is incredibly long. It would be incredibly difficult to get each one of those characters correct. The best way to counteract this is to use a URL shortener. There are two I'd like to show you. One is tinyurl.com. The other one is goo.gl, which is a Chrome extension. If you already have a URL shortener that you like to use, whether it's one of the two I just mentioned or a completely different one, you can stop watching this video right now. For tinyurl, you'll actually type in tinyurl.com and you'll come to this website. You'll go to the address that you want your students to visit, and that's the address of this Google Doc. Highlight it and copy it, and I did that using Control-C. Back on the tinyurl page, you can type it into the long URL box, and you can make it tiny. You can also customize this. Maybe you want to put in whatever the name of this particular quiz is or the name of this survey. This is probably really great for younger students, not all that necessary for older students. To make this tiny, you just click the Make Tiny URL, and it will take you to a page where here you have your tiny URL ready. You can copy and paste this, write it on your board, whatever you need to do so students can type that in to their address bar. The second one I'd like to show you comes from the Chrome Web Store. And if you type in URL shortener into the search bar, you'll get quite a few choices. The one you want is right here, goo.gl URL shortener. Just click Add to Chrome, and it should pop up here in your extensions. Mine came up here all the way on the right. And I'm going to go back to this Google form. And once I click on this URL shortener, I get this little pop-down box. And here is the new shortened URL, which is much easier to type into an address bar. You can click Copy. That is now copied onto your clipboard, and you can paste it into slides presentation. You can also get a QR code to this website if you're using QR codes in your class. And also, once students have used this tiny URL, you can get some details. It'll show you how many people have gone to this link, how many different browsers were used. And right now, since this is a brand new one, we have 0. But sometimes you might want that information, especially if this is something that students are going to do on your own. You want to look and see how many of the class has actually worked on it. That's a real quick look at two different URL shorteners, tinyurl and goo.gl.